Okay. Is this, not even close. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Can we... Maybe I'm not close enough, or maybe this is like a special Glintock, because we need to get that talon from him.
Why did they cast you out?
Murder. You?
Birth.
All right, we're going the old-fashioned way. Let's get some vision here. No warm-ups, we're going right in. Okay, that worked rather nicely. I don't know if these guys are helping me much. Oh, are you serious? That just happened. Got him. Get out of the way! Let's see if we can't get one of those new fancy things going. Let's go with the... Forge fire. Seems pretty good. Got him. Guys, we did it. We did it. Ryu Tupsa. Congrats on the sub from Alex. Thanks again, Alex. Appreciate it, guys.
Roger said she could improve the storm slinger with this.
Appreciate it. Love, it's your first suite, or it's your first stream. That's cool. Thanks for coming.
Spear girl.
Can everybody say hi to Love XXX Sweet? I don't know about that name. Oh, he just...
Don't get me wrong. You're very
And Dutch just gifted a sub
well,
to her.
Oseram
That is so
flirted the
nice.
most
Or
inopportune
him.
times.
Now
Could be
take it
him.
up and brace yourself.
Falstro says, well, it's Dutch Christmas after all, isn't it? Thank you, Falstro. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very nice of you. How's the volume? How is the volume in that last little throwdown there?
Why did they cast you out?
Murder. You?
Would you
Birth.
kindly try to pronounce my name? I am upset. Ryu Subasa. Was that as close as it gets? That's as close as I'm gonna get. I'll tell you that much. Check this out. Varga, our expert weapon crafter,
Got that part you need.
Perfect.
is gonna be at it.
Already got machine oil on my
All right,
hands.
volume's good. All right, let's improve the storm slinger.
Here it is. One stormbird talon.
Let's do it. I haven't had this much fun in ages. Watch and learn, Aloy. Only don't stare directly at the sparks. Okay, so I pretty much had to break her in half. But what's a staff? A stick. One thing I like about sticks, you can put them back together however you want.
Which
I guess that's
you
fine.
did. This thing looks a whole lot more dangerous.
She's better than dangerous. She's a genuine Varja special now. Take good care of her.
I will, Varja.
What you did to that storm slinger? That was some impressive work, Varja.
Hey, it's nothing. I just helped her become what she was always meant to be. They grow up so fast.
If I find anything I think you'd like, I'll be back around.
You better.
I would assume that we
Why did they cast you
don't
out?
find anything else.
Murder. You?
Hey!
Birth.
Wow. Curiel, thank you so much. Whoa! Did you guys see Curiel? 29 months.
Just gotta tough this
Goes
storm
another
out.
sub, another month, another sub. That is crazy. Thank you so much, Curiel. Tebow, congrats on the sub from Falstro. Well deserved. You're here all the time. Really appreciate your inputs. Thank you so much to Falstro and to Dutch for, I would say, gifting. I couldn't even guess at how many subs you guys have gifted over the past couple of weeks. It's been insane. Who was it? Elemental Rose saying no face cam, feels like you're talking from a radio station. No face cam for Horizon Zero Dawn. I started the DLC with one and then got feedback, and I think I agree that this game is better suited without one. So here we are. Here we are. Don't we need a bellowback part? We did that in the last one. Let's go to our quests here. I think. Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. We need the snout. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm totally wrong. Let's jump on over. Let's do it. That's right. We only took down the one machine at the end of the last stream. That's right. It's been a little while. Uh-oh. Admiral Brocode's here with the bits. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. This would be a good for Dexter Cam. He's not down here, though. And there's a reason for that. So, do you guys remember a few weeks ago when I had that water damage from upstairs, and we had to call contractors in and stuff to fix our front room that had the water damage? Anyways, they've been doing that for the past 5 days, and that's above where I am. And just today, as they're working on the floors in that room, it caused enough vibration for this light cover to fall off, which is inside of our laundry room, and that fell off, and that laundry room's behind me, and it shattered and got glass everywhere. So I cleaned it, but until I can do a really thorough job, I don't want Dexter to be down here, because he'd be like, "What's that? That looks tasty," and he'd eat the glass. It wouldn't even surprise me. So yeah, that's why he's not down here. Okay. Let's mark this one as active, and let's go from here. Bellowback snout. Let's review the bellowbacks, shall we? Is it in here? Yeah, here we go.
Spear girl!
Bellowback. Where's my boy, the bellowback? Fire bellowback. Okay. So they have extremely liquid cargo, hard outer casing to protect synthetic muscle and operational systems. They have a blaze canister where their, reproductive organs are. This is how they reproduce, with blaze canisters. It's obvious. Cargo sack, weakness all, strength none. So obviously we want to try and take that down. And then it's gullet. This will disable fire attacks. So that's the plan. Warpaint, thank you so much for the resub. Thank you, man. Very cool. Thanks so much. So let's hunt this sucker. Let's go, Billy. If you guys don't know, this is Billy. You've met before. But if you're new here, you haven't met him. Are you guys talking about having pet rats? I think that's so fascinating, to be honest. I'm not a rat guy. I used to have, like, when we were kids, we had hamsters. I think I had a hedgehog? No, was it a hedgehog? Little, like, porcupine-looking thing. I think it's a hedgehog. And anything with, like, tails kind of freaked me out a little bit. So I was never into, like, mice or rats or whatever. Hamsters was the closest I got to rodents. Why does the stream say Sinterklaas feast? It's Dutch Christmas, and that was the origination of Dutch Christmas, it turns out. So I thought, well, you know, wouldn't that be nice if we just did a little something for Dutch Christmas? Dutch Alex, is there like a, is there a certain, like, phrase that you say at this time? Or is it just the standard stuff? Let's stock this up.
Oh boy.
Ooh, that's nice. Good start. Okay, not great. Let's take out these little guys first. I think he just stood there for me. Whoa. Pretty much just standard stuff translated to Sinterklaas instead of Christmas. Okay. I'm trying to get around behind this guy, but... Whoa! Oh, that'll do. Got it. Jeez. Overkill? Okay, now he's pissed though. You remove somebody's giant tank like that, he's not gonna be thrilled. That's a guarantee. Whoa, okay. Okay. Got him. That's actually pretty satisfying. That's actually pretty satisfying. I think we're gonna go, until we fight, like, mega bosses, we'll switch back to, like, a more normal suit. Lundley, you rewatched all the parts of The Witcher 3 playthrough and missed this game so much. Funniest moment was when Eskel shouted, "Summon the bitches." It's funny.
That should do it.
Whenever somebody says that, it reminds me of Old Lady Gamer. Where's Old Lady Gamer been at? Do you guys know? I know some of you guys know who she is. I haven't seen her at Luckless's streams either recently. Okay, let's go back to Varga. We're just gonna jump there, I think. Because look at this trek. She has found love. Oh, that explains it. That happens. That happens. How do I select my games, McMigs? I just play what I like. If that's what you mean. Do you just mean, like, how do I select my games in general? Sinterklaas has evolved into a national debate on the racist character of the helper of Sinterklaas, Black Pete. Somebody did send me a picture of some of the stuff associated. And, interesting face paint. Such a commotion. Like, yeah, the map's absolutely huge, to be honest with you. I'm glad that you guys are clarifying between porcupines and hedgehogs. My hedgehog was a little bit of an asshole. Like, I had to literally wear thick gardening gloves to play with him. And that got boring after a while and mostly annoying. So we ended up giving him away to another family because we were just like, pfft. My dad was not into it. And I lost interest. I was young. Didn't know how to take care of pets. Sinterklaas Fest is... People are gonna ask that every time they come into the stream. I definitely need to put that in there. Hold on, let me add that right now so we can have the command for it. Sinterklaas.
Many dream of taking up the chieftain's mantle. Few manage it as decisively as you.
Yeah, I had a hedgehog like when I was a lot younger. I think it's Feast. Yeah, Sinterklaas Feast. I'm gonna set it up so that when somebody adds it or asks for it, it'll just take them to the Wikipedia page.
We run into each other again. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were following me.
Boom. It's in there. There you go. Enjoy.
I'll give this to the office.
Find anything interesting lately?
I might have. Let's talk.
I can't believe how many people are talking about Sinterklaas, to be honest. I'm not Dutch at all. I'm not. But I just thought, hey, this is basically like Christmas. There's some Dutch people in here. Why not?
I've got what you asked for. Show me what you had in mind for the forge fire.
Finally! Was feeling like I neglected her. And that's a little too close to my family life. She's done and she's yours. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Oh, looks great. I almost expected you to turn it into a burning ropecaster or something.
Nah, she was close to perfect from the start. She's a Varja original after all.
It kind of
Thanks,
takes
Varja.
on the look
These
of
three
the
weapons are fine
bellowback.
work.
Are you kidding?
Its gullet
I
or
can't
whatever.
remember when I had this much fun. I should be thanking you.
I'm the one walking away with the weapons, aren't I?
Seems wrong to charge you for giving me an opportunity to do what I love doing. Don't tell Pop I said that. Here, whenever I tinker with weapons, I go through fistfuls of this stuff. Maybe you'll get some use out of it.
Blue gleam, maybe? Yes!
I wish I'd never crawled from the warmth of my
We got
tent.
blue gleam. Okay. Oh, this is actually pretty convenient. So, talk to air attack. This, I guess... Okay, okay. Here we go, guys. This is happening. This is going to be big.
Well stocked, as you asked.
Fire burster pack.
And our scouts
Oh,
are
you know what?
watching
I
from
should
above.
buy some blaze canisters here
Our
before
numbers
we
rise.
go.
3 more hunters have passed their trials.
Let's buy some blaze canisters. I'm gonna spend all of my money on blaze canisters. Okay, we'll do 150. Got it. That says, hey, Mr. Odd, thanks for tonight's stream. Can't think of a better way to spend a cold evening in England. Yeah, man, look at this. I hope you have like a fireplace or something to keep you warm. That's actually like one of... Okay, there's two... I'm going to describe to you guys the two best feelings in life.
The sand near
Like
some-
generally, temperature-wise. Okay? Number one, you're freezing cold. Your house is like freezing cold, but you have that one like awesome heat source, whether it's like a fireplace or like a portable heater or like whatever it is. Just emanating heat. That's the best. And then also that's the second best feeling is when you're getting sick. You're not completely sick, like you can still breathe well. You're not totally congested, but you're getting sick and your body kind of gets that whole like fuzzy feeling and you feel like light and fluffy almost. And like when you're just laying and you're like watching Netflix and chilling out for an entire day and your body's just like in this perfect balance of not being exhausted, but it doesn't want to move and it's just completely content being slumped on the couch and laying down the entire day. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Bro code is working, minimizing the screen when your boss comes around. Tell your boss to say hi. What about the stomach feeling when you're going down a roller coaster? I hate that. I hate roller coasters. That's not a good feeling.
But our purpose was to take back the mountain. Now what?
Stay prepared. Sharpen your spears. Should we not return, defending the cut falls to you. If our chieftain agrees with his course.
Sounds like good advice, but let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Chieftain?
The weight of command is no small burden.
I can see that. I take it you haven't spoken to Araya yet?
Why should I? This is what she wanted, to return to Thunder's drum. It is her only care. So I should have known she would find a way to push aside my spear. After the Karja took my sister, not all of her came back.
What happened to Araya when she was a captive of the Karja?
As a shaman, she's adept with machines. Tracking them, stunning them. The Karja used her to capture them for the Sun Ring, where they were unleashed upon the innocent. They made her part of their blood sport. The shame she suffered beneath their pitiless sun.
She survived.
She endured. Endured by reminding herself of the spirit, her purpose. But now that's all she has.
Tell me what happened to the first expedition.
Rhea led the way to the summit, but it was blocked by a great door. Some kind of cauldron. New metal.
Okay.
We tried to break through, but it was unflinching. We were exhausted. No way forward and machines behind.
Why did they cast
I made
you
the
out?
call to push
Murder.
back.
You?
It cost us
Earth.
greatly. But to remain would have cost us everything. I had hoped to never subject Araya to that again.
So do we know what's past the
What
door?
do you think is beyond that door?
I do not know. That expanse of metal, that dead hum. Nothing sacred belongs there. Machines and death, that's what the mountain holds. Death for us or for the daemon.
And if we do find the spirit?
Then perhaps we should put it out of its misery.
For what it's worth, I'm glad you're coming with me.
Someone has to keep Araya safe.
All right. Well, let's go talk to her. So this is like a big cauldron then.
Feels like if I blink, my eyes will freeze shut.
Let's just not blink. Mama Odd has gifted a sub to Thatch81. Congrats, Thatch. Thanks, Mama Odd. I don't even know if that's my actual mom or not. I don't know if she changed her name. I'm gonna ask her right now. Because I need to know if I have an impersonator on my hands. Either way, grateful for them donating subscriptions and stuff. That's super cool. Yes, it's me, Christopher, she says. Well, how do I know that? Okay, yeah, I can verify it's you. See, you guys notice what my mom just called me? Yes, it's me, Christopher. Okay, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom.
Aloy, this is it. My chance.
You guys, my mom's
to
in the chat.
reunite
Don't
with
be
the spirit and
weird.
perhaps to reunite her with the blue light. It's not a chance I would have had alone. I needed an outsider. Someone ignorant of our ways, but no, not ignorant.
Are you trying to thank me, Araya?
Yes, of course. That's what you do. Untangle knots. Create possibilities. Thank you for making this pilgrimage possible. I only wish it had not been necessary to humiliate Aratak. You were wise to let him come. He's earned the right. Stubborn as stone, but he's had to be. The war demanded it. And so have I.
Okay. I'm gonna ask about Aratak, actually.
What did the war do to Aratak?
He cut away everything until only his true self remained. Unyielding ice. No Banuk has more sheer will. He fought the Karja for 1,000 freezing nights, yet always rallied his hunters at sunrise. It is said he endured 23 wounds in those years. His hunters counted them. He never complains of one. Instead, he complains that life with me is harder. He's right. What have I ever given him but struggle?
I'm gonna ask her about silence.
Now that I'm chieftain of the Werak, I don't suppose I can order you to tell me about silence?
Aratak would never have presumed to grasp for a secret of the Conclave, but you are not Aratak, and if you have dealt with Silence, your need is well apparent. Silence came to Banuk from the distant north, a young shaman of the Owl's Watch, a remote Werak that rarely comes south to parley.
Silence was a shaman.
He was, or at least when we sent runners to ask the Owl's Watch, they said he was. His knowledge of the machines was beyond compare.
Why did they cast you out?
He was hungry
Murder.
to trade what
You?
he knew to the rest of us.
Birth?
It didn't take him long to gain the trust of the Conclave and, eventually, an invitation to attend.
What about you? Did you trust him?
No. But he impressed me. He carried himself with poise and authority. I wanted to learn from him, but that was not to be. He was granted knowledge of our most sacred meeting place, the frozen caves of the Malmstrom, a month's march from Banur. He met with us there, as is custom at high winter. But when we next returned, the caves had been looted. Relics of the old world stolen. Holes cut in ice and metal.
Yeah, that'd be Silence, all right.
He vanished with the spoils. We sent our best trackers after him. None returned. And when we checked back with the Owl's Watch, those who had vouched for him were gone. As though he never existed. Some in the Conclave began to doubt he was even Banuk to begin with.
And what do you think?
He committed an unforgivable sacrilege. He's unscrupulous and dangerous. But also brilliant, skilled, and knowledgeable without equal. Except, perhaps, for you. Anyone else I would warn off, but you may be able to treat with him safely. Just don't lower your guard.
I'll keep that in mind, Haraya.
I think it's really cool that they incorporated Silence into this, because they could have just, like, you know, whatever. Yeah, it's pretty cool. See that Mom's telling stories now? That's
Spear
great.
girl.
Of course.
Tiny Sparks and _Twitch. Thank you guys for subbing. Admiral Broco just gifted to I_Twitch. Thank you guys. That's very kind. Thank you so much. The story she told. So the part that she missed is that not only did I spend hours and days building this Lego police station, but I saved up like literally quarters and nickels and dimes and pennies. Like I would literally search through the couch for like coins and like build up this jar of like change basically. And then I eventually had enough to get this this police station Lego set, and I was so pumped. And at the time, this was like a big Lego set. And then I took forever to build it, and my brother just came in and he threw it off the shelf, smashed it on the ground. Oh, I was pissed. I was pissed. Real pissed. Admiral Broquick gave the gift sub because my mom's story was awesome. She's got some good ones.
Aratak told me you were a captive of the Karja for a long time. It sounded bad.
For Aratak, it all comes back to that. He thinks the Karja changed me. They did not. They merely sharpened my focus. When all else is lost, you think about what's truly important. The spirit. The blue light. The beyond. And my brother, too. Every time I felt the chill northern wind, I thought of him. Worried for him.
What are we gonna find up there, Rhea?
Ruins. Machines. And a door, like that of a cauldron. I have faith that you can find a way through it, Aloy. For beyond it lies the spirit. I know I can find her there. Though I do not doubt that Damon has tried to hide the way.
We'll figure out how to get in there. Let's go.
It hasn't been easy for you, Rhea. Getting back to this point.
It was all to hear her voice again. This time, we both will.
I'd like that.
Are you ready then? Once we ascend, it will be hard to turn back.
I've already committed. Oh, yep, we're good.
Finally, we ascend.
How? I don't see a way up.
Not up. Through.
Okay, I'm into it.
No, brother!
Jeez. Oh, cool. Can't justify it, but for some reason what they were just doing gave me a flashbacks to devil sticks. Do you guys remember those things? A lot of you guys probably have no clue what devil sticks are. Synthetic voice, nice.
It's not all that waits.
Oh, this is gonna be cool. Oh boy.
So you see, I too can call upon the power of the old ones.
What was this place?
Whoa.
The spirit once told me that this all used to be part of its domain. A fortress that defended humankind from a terrible danger.
Fortress. It looks more like a machine.
Is that not fitting? The blue light often dwells in machines.
Let's just hope that some remains here.
Yeah, this is gonna be crazy, isn't it?
Metal pillars. Tall as Banuk's cliffs. I still don't like it.
November 21st, 2064. It's been 3 years since I was last here, and 12 since I was running the place. Just a skeleton crew left, confused about why I'm here. So am I. Anita wants me to find a way to suspend operations for a while. Maybe a long while. And I don't know why. But from the sound of her voice. It was something terrifying. I wish I could look into her eyes, ask her what the hell she's so freaked out about, but what else is new? Don't I wish I could look into her eyes again?
Aloy? Were you listening for something?
There are
Something like that.
memories here.
How do we explain this?
Messages left by the old ones.
And you can hear them. I envy you. What did they say?
I'm not sure yet, Araya.
Here. Up and over.
The way that we used her name there, it's like, I'm not sure yet, Araya. You know? Like, I'll tell you when I know. Quit asking me questions. Kenny's homecoming. Voice transcript. Joshua says, the return of the director emeritus. Decent hollow title. Gina, no, bad title. Worst subject. The camera crew would die of boredom. Whatever, Gina. It's still the most excitement this hell cave's seen in a long time. Your standards for exciting are depressingly low. Yeah, I'll squeeze what I can out of this, thanks. You always were a little sweet on Kenny. What? No way. His ears are enormous. Besides, he was too busy mooning over Anita. I want to know what he's doing here in the first place. It's not normal. He helped engineer the most advanced geothermal facility in history, then rode off into the sunset. Now he wants to check up on his masterwork. Seems normal to me. But why now? He keeps poking around in the cooling facility and asking questions about Cyan. Do you think there's something wrong? Last I checked, there's been no deviation in any of our readings since the most recent microquake swarm. Maybe Kenny likes taking field trips on Pharaoh's dime. It's been 14 years. They would have frozen those accounts by now. Has it been that long? Man, I'm old. Not old, just boring. Oh, hello. Okay, I see. We're gonna do it this way. This looks good. Thanks again, bro code. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much, hey. You're super generous, man. Thank you so much. Okay, looks like we've got some action here. When that guy turns, I'm going. I'm going now. Forget it. Oh boy.
Spotted.
Got me. Oh boy. That didn't hit. Okay, this is not the time. I better go babysit these guys. Whoa! Got it.
We must climb higher,
Woo!
and our path will become clear.
I see. So this is going to be busy down here.
The chieftain's place is measured, ours is measured.
Twitch Hammer, thanks for the bit. Says, I'm only an understanding hammer. I've been watching your son for quite some time. Never having met you, I like to make an impression. I think that was for Mom. Okay, I got... Hold on.
We can make our way upwards when you're done.
Is this underneath us that we're getting this sign from? Yep. That kiss. Must have been sometime in the spring of 2047, about 6 months after the main facility opened. We were behind schedule and new data indicated that an accident or an incident was close, maybe only weeks away. I was exhausted, losing weight, barely speaking except to give orders. I passed by Anita in the battery depot. She looked at me and frowned, then pulled me into this room and kissed me. A long kiss, the best kind. I can still remember the feel of her hand on the back of my neck after she looked at me and smiled and went back to her work without saying a word. I'll never forget that moment, her touch, her unspoken generosity. After she left the project, I spent years beating myself up for not keeping her somehow. Every time I ran into her at a conference, I felt thrilled and lost and confused all at the same time. Always hoping we'd have a few drinks and, well, rekindle. It was only after I saw her on stage in a hollow in 58 accepting the Mind Challenge Award in Austin with Elizabeth Sobeck presenting, throwback, glowing and happy and fulfilled, that it dawned on me that I hadn't done anything wrong at all. I could finally see that she had what she wanted and it simply wasn't me. That's actually very depressing. You don't understand the choice of fire arrows on the Demon Watcher? Mostly have it. If you're watching for like expert arrow decision making, you're probably not going to enjoy what you're watching. I really only try to change things up on the bigger ones. Those little guys, I just do whatever I have and then I go in and take them down as fast as I can.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate
Not much farther now.
Dutch Alex, thank you so much for the donation, dude. He says, have an awesome stream. And Mama Odd is amazing. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. She's pretty rad. When she comes to visit, hopefully soonish, then we'll do a stream together.
Last we were here, we fought our way through there, but machines overcame us. We retreated, dropping supplies and taking losses. Now we must prevail, with only 2 warriors and a shaman to protect.
Aloy is no ordinary warrior. And I can hold my own. Even so, we could go that way instead. There are machines up there, but also cover. We could stay hidden, at least for a while.
All right. I get
Stay
the
hidden, you
options.
say?
Now follow my lead. Towers.
AGTTTTTW.
What's all this for?
It's your first time commenting, so thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Whoa. Oh, okay. I see what happened there. I was walking away, so I was going to crouch, but it's also right by the fire, so it was going to save. Okay, so hold on. Why do we have 2? Oh, I see. Yeah, we're going to definitely take the path up the tower. We could go through guns blazing, or arrows blazing. But I wouldn't want to upset chat, you know, with the wrong arrow type. So I'm gonna go top and passive aggressively talk about my arrow choice.
I went this way
I'm
years
totally
ago,
kidding, by the way.
looking for cover in case machines came prowling. I have no doubt that it is guarded now, but we may be able to stay hidden.
Crafty drunk. Somebody goes, Kobayashi Maru says, your typing is triggering me. Is that like a roleplay thing or are you writing phonetically? No, she's probably just under the influence. Oh, we might be able to pull a couple murder bushes out here. Whoa.
It's cold. As if there's chill water running through those massive pipes. Why?
Am I hidden here? I have to hope that I am. Okay, guys, be cool. I'm gonna teach you the ways of the murder bush. Maybe. That's how she's done. Okay, now you try.
Go where you go, Aloy.
Oh god. You guys blew it. Wasn't me. You guys blew it. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Everybody back. Whoa! I got it. I got it. Okay. My team's actually pretty sweet. Good job. Oh, didn't get the important part. Whoa. Look at that thing. Found them. Pretty tough. Okay, so two of them take down one, which is nice. I dealt with the crazy one. So as far as I'm concerned, we're carrying this squad.
Be wary of mines. We tripped a mine.
Frick.
Brace yourself.
Always cold, deepest winter here.
I'll find a use for you.
This game looks badass. Is this your first time seeing Horizon Zero Dawn? It's really good. Incident report 363-7. Property damage and personal injury. Reporter Jurgen. Is it Jorgen? Jorgen Holm? And as official incident reporter for the Firebreak project, it is with great concern that I report of an incident at our facility. Incident began after a swarm of 35 seismic events beginning on 3rd and 4th November, 9.6 kilometers northwest of Mammoth, Wyoming. Included were 4 in the magnitude 2 range, with the largest magnitude 2.4 at 4:09 the 4th November. Holographic modeling shows most quakes originating at the Hebgen Lake fault zone. As the project's senior geoscientist, I advise this number and magnitude and seismic events is a normal outcome from fluid movement through the caldera's silicic magma reservoir, as well as changes of pressure coming in interactions between magma and supercooled fluid. However, one can never be too careful in such an unstable environment, shown further in this report. The incident began when I was wakened from a loud crash in the canteen. Fortunately, I did not have to rouse the official canteen monitor, since I am that self-same person. Even while acting in my formal office, I was alarmed and feared the worst. Inspection of the zone showed the tragic loss of a 15 ml bottle of nail lacquer in deep crimson, shattered on the canteen floor. Lacquer also splashed on the surroundings at an area of approximately 1 to the 6th M2, whatever the hell. I don't know. Can't even understand what he's saying. One chair was tipped over on its side, but happily I had the mechanical knowledge to right it without further incident. The bottle of nail lacquer is irreparable. Moreover, the canteen monitor suffered a cut to the left hand when picking up broken glass. This was treated by the site first aider, me, with supervision of the fire marshal, also me, but could still get infected. Gina Bruno is identified as the owner of the bottle of nail lacquer. In my capacity as staff psychological observer, I conclude that she has accepted the loss of her personal item in good fashion, but further evaluation may be necessary. We will keep a remote site supervisor informed of developments in such a case. Please find following this report my salary increase request for the coming calendar year. It's pretty busy. Pretty busy. Square meter? Is that what that is? 1 times 10 to 6 meters squared. Okay. You guys should be the fire marshal.
I can always use these.
No need for sneaking now, chieftain.
No need for sneaking? Okay. Watch us just get destroyed because we're not being quiet. Uh-huh. Oh, good one. Good one. No need for sneaking now. Is that right?
Let's not linger any longer than we have to.
Okay, fine. Seems like we're all good. Get in the bushes. Hey, Collix, what's up, man? It's going well. How are you? Come over here.
Thought I endured every cold there is. This frost.
Oh, God, he's not dead. Whoa. Okay, that ain't good. Got it. Oh, things happened? I hope those things aren't too bad and they're recoverable. Can we send some good vibes to Collix, guys? He's like literally the cheeriest person in every single stream.
Almost through.
Will puns help? Yes. Of course they will. Thanks, bro code. Thanks again for the bits. He says, "Be back in 1 hour if you're still streaming. Got to go into a meeting. Hopefully you're still going." Yeah, it should be. Okay, are we... Wait a second. Where's this taking us? Exactly. I think we're off the path here, but... Oh! Okay. Okay. So if we wanted to take the head-on approach, that's the door we would have came in through. Gotcha.
I'll tuck that away.
Gotta make sure we remember we don't have the protection of the super strong suit either. But if we find like if we're fighting something major, we'll just switch into it.
Maybe to show holograms without a focus.
Hollow Redux. Okay, I admit it. I watched the hollow of the toe 6 straight times, taking in every detail. Anita's smile, the way she giggled at her own jokes, my clumsy handoff to Cyan. Every time it played, for a second, I felt like I was there again. With her, among friends, savoring our success. With diminishing returns, of course. By the 6th time, I was just staring at Anita and feeling really creepy about it. But I can be forgiven, can't I? It was the best night of my life. Besides, I'm entitled to a little nostalgia. We saved the world from fire and death, or at least suffocation by ash. So there's that, right? This guy is all about Anita. If you guys haven't noticed, this guy is all about Anita.
You might see shapes drawn from light.
Oh, Colix, I'm really sorry to hear that, dude.
To alarm me.
Really sorry to hear that. I'll speak on behalf of chat and say that we're definitely going to be thinking about you, and your grandma's in our thoughts for sure.
Thank you for being here, everyone. I suppose it's not every day you get to have cocktails inside an active volcano, right? Unless you're George, and I can hardly blame him for drinking on the job. None of this would be here without our beloved director, Kenny Chow. So, here's to you, Kenny. You put a cork in the Yellowstone caldera. I'd say you deserve a margarita.
Hold your glasses, everyone. I'd like to add something. This effort wouldn't have been possible without our lead programmer. Thank you, Anita, for bringing us our real mastermind, Cyan.
I'll second that, Director Chow. All right, Cyan. What's our latest number? The current count is 1,654.
Notice how the subtitle said spirit?
Then drink up, everyone. Here's to 1,654 more years without an eruption.
I feel like this is foreshadowing.
It was the spirit. The old ones. I could only grasp some of what they said.
You were right, Araya. This place was built to stop something terrible. And it worked. It was for the spirit. I'm starting to get an idea of what it could be.
The door is open now. We can get through.
Look at this place, though. Demonic Scorcher, no big deal. Scrappers. Alright.
We'll have to carve through a lot of machines to get to that door.
And carve we will.
Aloy will...
The geothermal plant can be suspended. Cooling system masked. Massive challenges solved. So why am I so nervous about the next part? All we need to do is install Anita's mysterious software and have a conversation. It's not even a human being, right?
Okay. They're prepping us, guys. Buckle up. Got one. I think it saw us. Nope. Let's see if we can't get through here quietly. I don't know if this is going to erupt into something completely wild, but... that guy's obviously our biggest concern. If we can get that mine launcher, though... if we triple shot it, we take these guys out so quickly. He's weak to ice, this guy. Let's go ahead and switch this over. I'm in the Yellowstone super container. Or super volcano. Something like that.
This is it.
I think we got it. Whoa! Okay, that's probably bad for us, if you think about it. I'm gonna need some space. Doesn't look like I'm getting it. Got him. I think we're gonna go here instead. This guy's gonna kill me. Whoa! Frozen kill, guys. We got a frozen kill. All right. Could have used the disc launcher, but he died too soon. I'm gonna check that other area also. Looks like not much. Okay, team, to the door. What's up, Spliff Doctor? I'm doing well. How are you? Okay, that's bad. Pretty sure that's bad.
More machines.
Oh no. Okay, hold on. Shit. He's not going to be happy if I'm sitting back here, I don't think. My god. Maybe I'm going to try and pick up that disc launcher. Okay, buddy. That'll do. We need some space! Got it. Oh my god. Just. Well, this guy's pretty strong. Ah, damn it. I knew that was gonna happen. Whoa. Come over here, give me some space. Okay. Hey guys, can you hold them off maybe? Just curious. Maybe I can freeze them? Okay, there we go. Whoa. This is tight. Not feeling confident. Okay. I'm just getting freaking hammered on by this guy. This thing takes so long to charge. Oh, shit. Still not. Oh boy. Oh no! Whiffed. Are you shitting me? Okay, that was good. Got it. Freeze him, team. Got him. Okay, I think we might be okay. No, grab it. Oh, are you kidding me? Why? Okay, he's going down. I'd like to get him with the disc launcher just as like poetic justice, you know? But I might be risking my life to do it. Alright, there we go. Woo! That was intense. I don't think I blinked the whole time.
Now, Aloy, the door. Can you open it? Let's find out.
Got him. We got a Robin Hood on our hands. I don't follow. That's crazy. I love fighting those guys. I was tempted to switch to our, like, super gear, but...
Years have passed since I stood here. Since then, the daemon has taken over.
It's like an infection. Attacking all this machinery.
Everything has changed. Twisted. The path I took to get to the spirits. Lost to us.
We'll find a new path, Araya. I promise. All right. Let's go.
Yes. Finish this.
Oh boy. We're homing in. Chrono's saying it's probably one of the hardest fights in the game if you play it fairly. What do you mean? How do you play it unfairly? And tell me how to do that. I think we handled that pretty well.
All right.
To rescue Cyan and learn the true nature of the demon, Aloy and her companions must fight their way through the cauldron beneath the Thunder's drum. All right.
Down we go.
Good night, Frenchie. Look at this. Oh, you can set traps in front of its spawn before you open the door? Oh, okay, but you'd have to know, like... Okay, I see what you're saying. You would have to know what was going to happen in order to do that. Lunley says, I think this is a super volcano in the future, and that is the facility which the old ones built on it. They said it in the voice recording that the location is called Yellowstone. That's why lava is all around you. That's a good point. Could be. Hey, Twitchhammer, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
The mountain is more machine than rock. I never trusted it.
Yeah, Lunley, you might be onto something. That could be true. I don't have anything that I could say to dispute it anyway, at this point. Look at this place. It's gorgeous in here. What the hell? Oh, wait. Magnetic container rail. Can support human weight. Okay. I missed the cauldron stuff.
I'm with you, brother. You stay only as long as we have to.
We'll need to get past that vent. Stay here until I find a way for all of us to cross.
Understood, Aloy.
Surprise. Okay, so hold on. How are we... I guess we're gonna have to go down here. I don't see a way of grabbing onto those just yet. Hey, the Nathan James has arrived. Thanks for coming by. Okay, this looks like a death trap.
Close the vent from here. I'll have to go over it.
Alright, so there's got to be a way to grab on. Where did my help go? Here we are. Is there a way for us to get on that platform? Or do we have to, like... Hold on. Let me check this side, maybe. No, there is no this side to check. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Whoa, that was close. That was almost the end right there. Wait, is this a thing? Oh! Wait a second. What the frick? See, there's this, like... I think maybe this is a platform that extends? Oh, hold on a sec. No. Is it these things? I have no clue what the frick we're supposed to do. Oh! The yellow dots are handholds. Is that right? Yeah, that makes sense. Whoa. Okay. That seems good. That seems good. So we're gonna have to go across at the right time. I didn't even see that. Faster! Holy moly.
Conveyors should get me across.
Okay, now we can grab these things. Seeing if there's like a good place for me to do it. I'm thinking like right here. Looking pretty good.
Oh, he's in the air.
Yes, we are.
Now to show you.
That was okay. It's really hard to like to get our bearings in here.
We'll wait for you.
Because we gotta shut this sucker off. But how?
Looks like I need to get across to extend the bridge.
We want to be dropping down here? Is this floor? I hope so. Yeah. There's nothing doing. Alright, so if we fall, it's not the end of the world. We can get out. She's getting more graceful as she progresses. Yeah, exactly. It's Fuzz. Says, hey, Chris, UK fan, you just finished Wolfenstein 2 YouTube vids. I wanted to come and see if you were twitching. Say how awesome those videos were. Very late here, so off to bed. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks, dude. That's very nice of you. Alright, here we go.
This should get me up there.
Let's watch for any, like, electricity-filled handholders.
Okay. Let's see what this does.
We know what this does. We're gonna get a bridge, I think, right?
That did it. Here they come.
Or... Oh, that... Okay, cool. That's what turned it off. I thought we were gonna get a bridge. Now, do you guys have any idea how... Oh, shit. Yeah, this'll work. Is he not dead? Jesus. He's dead now, guys. Don't worry, you two. I'll do it.
Okay, let's get them across.
Man, it's so disorienting down here.
Come on over, it's safe. I think.
Candle says, this section took me a while to do. It was still fun. It seems, I mean, it's like the other cauldrons, but you gotta babysit these guys. Akasambo says, considering the theme of the game, is this DLC literally downloadable content? Interesting. So they just blasted us through here.
This place looks more like the mountain used to be before the demon ruined it.
What is this?
Every time we approach one of these things, she always says, what is this?
Exploit successful.
What is this?
Abated. To any human responder. My systems have been compromised by a malware daemon of unknown origin. Trace routes have confirmed this entity's designation as Hephaestus. It must be stopped at all costs. It has reconfigured this facility to build hospitals. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional data to this.
Spirit speaks to us.
Jeez.
Hephaestus. It was part of Silver Dawn, part of Gaia.
This name is familiar to you?
Yep.
Yes. I don't know what it's doing here.
It was one of those,
Perhaps the spirit will
I
tell
can't remember
us
the
if it
correct way of naming them, but
Maybe you're right. Let's keep moving.
I'm gonna say components. It's not the correct word or terminology, but Gaia was made up of several, like, different sub whatevers, you know?
I thought about just shutting it down, but I can't risk it being disoriented or even damaged on reboot. How do you tell the emotional equivalent of a child that she will need to go to a coma?
Subsystem. There we go.
Exactly as shooting it.
Sub AIs, yeah. And they were all loosely based on Greek gods, right? Subroutines, yeah. I think subroutines might actually be what they called it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were subsystems. Jeez. Look at this place. Whoa. Look at it. Yep.
As the spirit said.
I'll try to find a way through.
All right. Got a few things going on here. Another scorcher. Lovely. Shell walkers. I need to get over there. That seems achievable. I don't even know, like, what would I be taking out first here? Maybe this little guy? Whoa. Chirag, is this main story? This is DLC. Oh, that was sick. I think this guy might have just saved that dude's life. Shit. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. Okay. This is about to get batshit crazy, I think. I can't see or do anything. God. Wow. Okay, that seems good. If we can just focus on one of them for now. Jesus. I gotta get away. So close. Wow. I couldn't even see anything in there. I couldn't even see 80% of that fight. Holy moly. Scorcher's deadly at close range. You don't say. The thing is, we had 2 Scorchers up there, and I would roll away, and then I'd get knocked down, and the other one would kill me. What a disaster. What a disaster. We can do it.
Machines, being made, as the spirit said.
Frost calls.
I'll try to find a way through.
I am worried about attracting the attention of, like, too many of these big guys. Like we just did, but do I even have an option? Oh, this guy's detected me. Okay, let's see. Let's give it another go here. Problem is his launcher's gonna be over there. Just taking off armor here. Okay, shit. Okay, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Good luck. Let's see how this goes. Maybe they can just fight. Hold on. Oh, here we go. I'll go do the important stuff. Maybe. I think they might be hiding. Breedable Shani, I don't celebrate Sinterklaas, but I found out that it was the Dutch Christmas today. That it was originally based on Sinterklaas. Sinterklaas feast or something. Okay, this like might have worked. Isn't this what they did to get through here? Or do I have to... Yeah, I need to actually get them here, I think. Well. what happened there. Well, he recovers so fast. This is actually a much better place, though. Oh, shit. See, by doing this, I'm actually helping my team. It's giving them some space. That's what you call this in the biz. Oh boy. Go, team! This is not the time for whistling. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Never mind. Whoa, did we ever just get lucky? Pretty sure that didn't hit any of them. Of course. Maybe it did hit one. I think we killed one. Got him. Yes, I think I was hitting. Alright, guys. I will... Oh, that's why you couldn't come across.
I need to get Araya and Aratak across.
We got him. Yeah, whistle while you work. That was,
Should do it.
an accident. Night, Colics. We're thinking about you, buddy. Have a good one, eh? Pass on our best wishes to the family. Okay, like, are these guys gonna open the door? There we go. See, I saw them do that before, so I thought maybe I could do that. I was wrong. MIE assessment. Assessment form for classification of machine artificial intelligences. Confidential and proprietary to the MIE. No part of this document may be disclosed to a third party. Summary. Third test. Subject sentience is assessed at 0.54 within legal limits. Weighted against the results of the other tests, the subject's prior score of 0.61 is considered a false positive. Assessment derived from percentile scores in the following qualitative subtests. Pain response, humor response, emotional aptitude, aesthetic evaluation, morality evaluation. See attached forms for detailed analysis and summary of testing. Evaluator recommendation. Maintain biannual assessment schedule. Biannual. Continued monitoring is strongly advised in light of subject proximity to category maximum sentience. This stuff's going to be real, you guys. This stuff is going to be real. They're going to measure stuff like that, for sure. There will be a time I fall off one of these platforms and die. It's gonna happen. Are we going... Wait, what? Okay, we're going back up now. Nope. How does one get over there to activate the console? Just like this, obviously.
castle.
Watch, we're gonna go like, what is this? Never mind, we know what it is now.
To any human responder, the reconfiguration of this facility has introduced instabilities into the primary geothermal pipeline. It may be possible to exploit these vulnerabilities to destroy compromised elements of this facility while preserving most of the backup stabilization. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional...
I don't understand what the spirit was trying to tell us.
It's been looking for a way to defeat the daemon. And it may have found one.
I like that we're basically decoding it for her.
November 28th. Operation Enduring Victory is all over the news. The Thanos swarm is coming. Has to be what Anita is trying to hide firebreak from. But that means she thinks we'll lose. That the swarm will reach Yellowstone. My God. In that scenario, pretty much everyone dies. Everyone except Cyan.
Is that right? Recycling area, okay.
Machine parts. Dumped here to be melted down. Efficient.
The nice thing is that these guys are actually pretty self-sufficient.
Yeah. Looks like I'll have to go over.
Oh, look at this is a tall neck head, isn't it? Absolutely. Oh, sick.
Fascinating. Looking for me.
Maybe if I just stand still, he won't see me. It's always interesting to see people that haven't seen Horizon Zero Dawn, like the questions that they ask, like, because it's hard to answer the questions of what this game is about without spoiling at least some things. If that makes sense. But it is a really good game that you should absolutely play if you have the ability to. It's really well done.
Make a path. You will follow.
I'm working on it, guys. Oh! I didn't know I was going to make that. Thanks again, bro code. Appreciate it. Says didn't fall asleep in the meeting this time. Well, that's a plus. That's a huge plus. Man, one fall from here. It's like major setback time.
Sideways too.
Okay, so I want to... Okay. Once that's out, we'll jump it. Oh, yeah. Seems good. Assume this is going to take us up. Man, these cauldrons are so trippy. I like how she's able to map out, like, this trigger should do this in this giant cauldron of who the hell knows what's. She nails it every time. Our little Aloy. Okay, now do I need to make it back the same way or no? I don't think so. Yeah, I like the cauldrons. They're cool. This one's like the most complex by far, which makes sense, but... Hold on. This is not at all... Ah, here we go. We have a climbable thing right by the tall neck head. Oh, what? Okay. Okay. No big deal. No big deal. Nobody panic. Find our way up. Now I really don't want to fall. That'll be a major setback. Okay, so we need to keep going higher, I guess. So all of that area that I kind of jumped through when, on our way back was not the way to do it. Okay, so I guess this could have got us across too. How do I get to that middle section? I think I need to get up into those... I need to get onto those things. And how do I do that? How the frick? How do we get across here? Let's ride the wheel. I might ask you guys for some help here in a second. Because I am a bit confused. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, so we actually don't want to cross that way.
Things don't look too stable.
All right.
I wonder if I can destroy that.
Hey, Chrono. If you're not enjoying, you don't have to stay, bro. Almost all of your comments have been backseat gamey and like you're just clearly not enjoying yourself. I appreciate you being here, but if it's not for you, then I'd rather you not suffer through it, you know? I think we found our way, as long as we don't fall. And we've gone blind, so this is great. Oh, shit. Now, is that... Oh, this is going to push out. Yeah, I don't know if it's a solar... I guess it's kind of a flare-like thing that he has. Jesus, this is huge in here. Now, if I jump across this, then I can grab that ledge and come over there, I think. Or maybe I have to wait. Okay, this is going to take me over. Lunley is asking, what does the term backseat gaming mean exactly? Backseat gaming is like when you're trying to tell the person that you're watching what to do and like revealing parts of the game that they might not know about or whatever. Like, oh, you missed something, go back and get it. It's over here in this location. Or switch to the right, whatever. Or use this arrow, or use that, or do this, do that. It's just being like, it's like giving direction. And like the reason that, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but the reason that most people don't like it is because it takes away from the experience of the player, right? Like imagine somebody that's sitting behind you saying, do this, do this, do this. Then you're really not like, then you're really not playing it yourself. So it just, that's why a lot of streamers will say like, don't backseat, but it's inevitable. It happens literally every time. Most of the time you just ignore it. Okay, am I gonna want to drop here or should I keep going? I'm gonna keep going and see if we have a safer way down. Chrono saying, sorry if you took my comment the wrong way. I'm not being that serious. It's something I'm working on to get people to understand the true meaning of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's all good, dude. It's in like an online thing where it's just text, a lot can get misinterpreted. So like, don't sweat it, but just be aware of how your comments come across, and that's all you can do. But like, I'm not here to lecture you on anything. It's just, it is what it is. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna go. That took a long ass time.
The others will have a lot easier time getting here.
Don't worry, Chrono. It's all good, dude. I'm not gonna hold it against you. Don't let it fucking happen again. I'm just kidding. You can't see my face now, but I'm totally joking. Just bugging you. Yeah, click deny. That's a good way of putting it. Like the expression does come from driving. So like the guy in the back seat of the car is telling you, turn here, go faster, go slower. You're like, okay. Next time I'm gonna buy a two-door.
One last exchange with Nita. Via chat attached to this entry in case anyone ever finds this. I'll never see her again. Neither will Cyan. I've got to tell her that too.
Oh boy. Oh, it's the swear jar, yeah. So Vinny's tracking the swear jar, and when he's gone from chat, then someone has to pick up where he left off. I'm not sure where he's at and what the number is. Josh, sweetie, I hope all's fine with you and your mom. We really should keep in better touch. I've taken a post to New Zealand with that program they've got for young people returning to the country. They want to be absolutely certain it's safe. At the moment, they're making a survey of the caldera of Taupo, or Taupo? Blast from the past, indeed. At any rate, I don't know if you already saw in the Wyoming News, Hollow, but remember that fellow Dodd Blevins? Of course you do. Well, they finally found what became of him. I've copied the good bit below. Hugs and snogs, Isla. Spring thaw reveals body of missing man. The retreat of the winter snows had brought closure to a missing person case that went unsolved for nearly 15 years. Human remains identified as those of Dodger Dodd Blevins, who disappeared in 2046, were located at Purple Mountain inside the former Yellowstone National Park. The previously undiscovered body emerged on Purple Mountain as a result of meltwater flows after an unusually warm winter. It was discovered by Pharaoh Servitors conducting a survey of the terrain. Authorities believe that the cause of death was an accident involving an antique vehicle designed for winter travel. Like a snowmobile, I would guess. Blast from the past. Okay. Vinny, let's put it at 60. I wasn't here for a while. Okay, yeah, sure. It's all in good fun, and it's going to charity anyway, so... When did we start the swear jar? Only a couple days ago. No, last week, maybe? I feel like 60 in that amount of time is not bad. Maybe it is bad. Maybe I should feel worse about it. I do feel bad. Sometimes. But sometimes it's just a good F-bomb. There's nothing better. There's just nothing better. Listen to the voice.
The altar.
Oh boy. This looks familiar, hey? Cyan access. Text log, data corruption minimal. As acting chief digital security officer and interim AI administrator for the Firebreak project, it's Jorgen again. I hereby state to have updated the orbicular pattern for the Cyan regulatory AI on 17th September 2064 according to procedure to ensure against tampering, meddling, disarranging, or outlandish mischief of any kind. Such as with previous updates, after the source node has been activated, the remaining data nodes must be pathed to establish a flow between adjacent intact nodes to then connect back with the source node. It's the same as what we saw before, right? After the source node has been activated, the remaining data nodes must be pathed to establish a flow between adjacent and then back to the source. Blast from the past, again, Yellowstone, warm winter. Yeah, making sense.
There is no blue light here. There's a spirit present, or only the demon.
Aratok must just be like, whoa, this is insane. Okay, let's get her back online, shall we? Okay, so if this is hitting here, we don't want that going back to the middle. This is good, this is good.
Analyzing scrutiny matrix. Security threat confirmed.
And then, hold on. If I go like this, that doesn't really help me. I should just want one more the other way. We want to bypass those, right? Yeah, but how am I going to get this node involved? This could all be because we assumed that this one was correct. The first one. But I'm going to switch this because I don't think that it is correct. And I think if we route away from those red nodes, we work around this way. See what I'm thinking here? Yeah, this is right.
Preparing countermeasures.
Whoops.
Recapture protocol.
Yeah, here we go.
initiated.
We got it. Ding, ding, ding.
It worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the blue light. It's Aurea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Aurea, the daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core chamber. I will try to raise the signal constraint. One has been exposed, but I am incorporating.
One has been exposed.
Unauthorized protocol returned.
Oh.
Task.
Uh-oh. Hephaestus pretty strict.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do?
I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there. Hephaestus. The daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded.
Nope. Buckle up.
It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I don't know if we're ready.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Okay, let's go. Just like that.
Keep moving towards the core.
Easier said than done. There may or may not be lava in the way.
Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it.
Guys, should we go on to like this? This is a real question for chat. Should we go on to... Oh, you know what? One thing I should do? Let's go here. And let's craft these. Oh, wait. Oh, I don't have enough fatty meat? Damn it. Alright. Forget it. Should we throw on our super suit here? Am I gonna have to go around this way, maybe? Oh boy. Do I need to make this jump? Like, what the heck? I don't think I can make that jump. We have a couple skill points. I don't think there's anything of use, though. Repair damaged mount by using shards. Okay, cool. Why not? Oh, I think I see... Hold on. Okay, here, we can actually cross down here.
Okay, Cyan said something about restraints. Is that what the tower is for?
Destroy or override the tower. Oh, great. My favorite. Whoops. Oh, come on. Tower down. Took you a long time to find that way across. Yeah, that was, well, because you haven't gone near the lava like that previously. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The new unit that Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. We can't let it stop us.
Weak to frost. Whoa, he shoots up from the ground. Seems good. I'm gonna move. Okay. Wow. We gotta blow those arms off, I think. Oh, he just... Oh, okay. Okay. I'm glad that these guys are dealing with these little things here. Let's speed up that process. May have shot him right in the robot junk there, but that's fine. Okay. Wow. Pretty focused. Are you serious? Oh my god. Did not expect that. Here, I might as well just override it now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Faster! Got it. Oh. Probably should have guessed that was going to happen. No! Okay, we still got him. Don't hit me, buddy. Don't hit me, buddy. Again. If I can knock that chest plate off the front, that would be nice. Okay, that looks bad. Oh! Holy moly. Everybody freeze him! That was the wrong time to run out of juice. Wow. Woohoo! That just happened. Wow. I don't think that's going to be the end either. Thanks, Conrad. Thanks for the bits, man. Great fight. Thanks for the support, buddy.
Zion, please help me.
Whoa, really? I don't know if this is wise. No way.
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak.
We gotta move.
Aratak.
Aratak.
Aratak. Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters?
Man, that's tough.
Our talk. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
Whoa, let's move. No rest for the wicked, I guess. You coming? Oh my god.
One of those?
Yes.
It's the only way.
One of those. Hi, Ian. This is not looking good.
Get me up top, Aratak!
This is...
Now! I need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Has he been carrying that the whole time?
Great Banuk.
Oh. No way. Holy dot moly. I think we did it, guys.
Araya is gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat at the end of the shaman's path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
Oh boy. Imagine what he's going through right at this exact moment. I can't. Jeez. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. Bro code. Thanks again, man. I really appreciate it. This is a great stream, bro, and nicely done. Thank you. We definitely want to go to Araya's retreat. That was crazy. That's a cauldron right there. Whoa. Whoa. I didn't expect it to be that heavy. So I imagine that they're having, like they said, join us for the last verse of her song, which I guess is like, song being life, verse being like, you know, maybe they have a celebration or something. Lunley saying, if I remember correctly about program Gaia, one of the sub-branches was Hephaestus, in Greek mythology, the god of forge, which here is the same as cauldron that makes all the machines. So I think Hephaestus went haywire and demon was created. Yeah, I think you're bang on. I think we knew like some of Hephaestus's like routines or whatever. Like I don't remember them, but I'm pretty sure all of the routines or things that they were responsible for were told to us in the main game. I'm just going to take a quick pause and say, because there's something that I do sometimes that, I don't know, maybe it doesn't bother you guys, but I do it and it bothers me because it kind of like takes me out of it for a second. But when I like refer to it as a game, to me that like takes me out of the character a little bit. Does anybody else feel like that? Like if you were narrating as you were playing and saying like, oh, the game, you know, in the main game, I did this and now I'm doing this. It's kind of like, and when you talk about like mechanics and stuff, I don't know, it takes me out of it a little bit. I try not to do it, and sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, I prefer that I don't do that. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like that. I'm probably not the only one who feels like that, but you know.
Someone hacked the menu board to display obscene messages about our colleague, Mr. Blevins.
Wonder who would have done that, Kenny.
Is this the most advanced geological project ever undertaken, or a junior high locker room? Come on, people.
Ian says, you think you're going to start streaming when God of War comes out? Do it. I think everybody should try it. For a couple of reasons. Number one, because it's fun. But number two is like, it's not easy to do. It's not easy. It's not easy to do it well. I don't think that I'm at the place where I would like to be yet, streaming wise. YouTube wise, I feel like I've got a pretty good handle. I'm very happy with that stuff. Twitch, I still have some work to do.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you.
Oh, here we go.
But there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again.
Oh, cool.
Come closer, Aloy. We have much
She
to
recognized,
discuss.
obviously, like, the emotional impact she had on him, and that's cool. That's cool. Talk to Air Attack. Talk to Cyan. Let's talk to Air Attack first. Is he 1 or 2? I think he's definitely 1. Wait, where the heck? Oh, he might be... Wait. Wait, what? He's here. Am I? Oh, here. Okay. Let's talk to Cyan first, then. Grumpage says, you certainly are one of the better streamers out there. No shouting or acting, just honest gameplay, good skills, and great interaction. I appreciate it, Grumpage. Thanks, man. The interaction thing's tough because you want to talk to chat, like, as much as you can. But you also want to, like, make progress in the game, and you want to, like, not interrupt the game and allow it to kind of tell its story, too. It's tough for me to do.
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
I like that she said that it was like a new thing that she couldn't describe, which is kind of like... It really makes you identify with her in that sense as being more than just an AI, like quite a bit more sentient than what you would think. Because that's the best possible way to describe it. If she was just like, I'm really, you know, I'm depressed or whatever, and she just left it at that, you're kind of like, well, how do you even know what that is? But
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
probably not.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Aurea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated.
It's like...
It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds...
It's computer
terrible.
coercion
Your empathy is greatly
and
appreciated.
torture. That's
It is
crazy.
a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan.
It's interesting, like, I don't think we've had a conversation where we can branch off into different things, go this deep down the rabbit hole. It's kind of cool.
I ran across this strange piece of gear, a fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy.
Okay.
Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace.
Anything's possible.
But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
In honor of Cyan reading the poetry, any message that you now type into chat has to rhyme. Okay? Otherwise, no one's going to reply to it. Everyone's going to ignore it. Everything must rhyme. Going forward. Thank you. Please comply.
This firebreak project. It was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes.
We'll be here for a while,
If
it
only
seems.
my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleague, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Okay. I have one nitpick about this right now is like, okay. So we just went through this giant cauldron, right? And like super intense. And then you finish and now we're talking to Cyan, which is great. But it's like, aren't there other ways to tell us this stuff instead of just like standing here having the conversation ongoing? Surely there's got to be a better way. Just because it kind of like takes, you're riding this high and then all of a sudden it's like, whew, way down into this long dialogue with
So are you an
a
artificial
gatekeeper.
intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Araya, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was
I love to
Araya
solve
who
Gaussian
renewed me,
integer problems.
repaired me. She saved me.
Okay, so she was like connected on another level.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Araya, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes.
Oh, this
it
could be
was
interesting.
a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
Hey,
A lot has
Vojanoi.
changed in the world, Cyan. Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh's servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
Concrete Beach Party.
There's a ruin
funny.
east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dr. Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you?
I see that we can ask about Ted Farrow. That'll be interesting.
Make you.
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Ted Farrow.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow Automated Systems?
Correctamundo.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
The benefactor? But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one.
It's so funny. Both the True Paradigm and Mr. K Home, I guess, would be the closest I could come up with. I thought about both those things in the past few minutes. Paradigm says this one conversation would take up an entire video for most Let's Plays. This would take way longer. This would be like, but you'd have to do it. You know what I mean? You'd have to do it, but it would be super long and nobody would watch it. And then Mr. K. Holmes says, I feel like you're playing the appendix of the game. Exactly. This part, I feel like this part is kind of like, okay. Like, some of it's interesting, but some of it's just like, I get it. Like, I get it.
And Elizabeth Sobek.
Hey, Zach, man.
Did you know
What's
her?
up, Big
Are
Bear
you
Show?
referring to
the scientist?
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field, one of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted
My watch is telling me to
own
stand, so
development.
I'm standing.
But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
I'm being controlled by an AI right now.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a
Maybe she
turning
watched
point.
Twitch.
A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful,
catch my breath.
beginning an era
Yeah,
of
that's so
supposedly
tough for a
limitless
start.
potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
Alora Amazing, thank you so much for doing that. You just donated a sub to I iantiv. Is it iantiv XST? I'm not sure how to say that. And he or she is very confused in the chat right now. That's very nice of you. Thanks for doing it. For those that don't know, you can now gift subs on Twitch, and I can't believe how many people have been gifting subs over the past couple weeks. It's actually crazy.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations.
Just call you Auntie?
Food
Okay.
shortages. Collapsed economies. Refugee crises. Conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause. Catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced, and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
Oh, not the... Oh, the clawback?
So things got better. For a little while, at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
It's been a real pleasure, Cyan. But unfortunately, I'm aging, and I need to leave.
I should get going.
Aloy.
Hey, Old Lady Gamer's here. We were talking about you earlier.
Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Araya.
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly, yes.
You know what? You make your own decision.
I trust your judgment, Cyan. You were cautious with Araya. You had to be. You didn't know what had happened to the world. So, keep doing what you think is best. As long as you ditch the superstition eventually.
As the Banuk believe I am a supernatural entity, I cannot predict how they will react.
Just answer what they do ask the best you can. The truth will come out.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world?
Oh boy.
I may be able to provide further
Oh
insight.
boy.
I'd like that.
She's feeling chatty after
I'll come back when I can.
a little while of being locked out.
Check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
Okay. I feel like we just kind of like that was one of those things where it was decided that we needed to learn a whole bunch of things and wrap some things up, and so she was just going to tell us everything she possibly knew about it. Grumpage, I saw it. He said, "Don't leave Cyan. She's going to feel blue." That's pretty good. I'll give you that. It was good. It was good. I think we should talk.
My chieftain.
Just, Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
Because of her, we destroyed the cauldron, forced out the daemon, and saved the spirit. She understood what had to be done.
Yes, and I failed to listen.
You didn't fail.
A shaman should always have the ear of their chieftain. Yet I turned her away, my own sister. I was foolish, but she knew better.
What's up, Pilgrim?
Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warak can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared.
Nice.
The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
Cool.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You can stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Uh-oh.
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began.
Sassy.
Catch up with you down the trail.
So, ideally, I think you're supposed to play this DLC in the middle of the game. Around like level 35 or so. Obviously, we had finished the game, so here we are. But that's it, guys. The DLC is done. It is done. And that was fun. It was really cool just to like revisit the world. There's a couple of like little nitpicky things that I've talked to. Oh, look at this. Oh, wait.
Gonna be light out
Oh,
soon.
never mind. I was like, damn, do we leave these everywhere we go, those footprints? Nope. Wait. What the frick? Do we or do we not? We kind of do. When we walk heavier, maybe. Anyways, that's cool. Yeah, it was cool. It was a good game. It was fun. It was just, for me, it was more about revisiting the world of Horizon, less about all the new, like, revelations, which were good. I just think that, like, that last part there, I think that's more like epilogue stuff, you know? I think if it was possible for them to be like, okay, you've done the DLC and I would appreciate like a kind of a more robust like wrap up in a sense, and not robust in terms of detail, but like something to kind of conclude it more. And then it's like, oh, and by the way, if you want to find out more about this, you can go and talk to her about all these extra topics. I think that would be really, really cool. So, but yeah, that was fun. I'm glad that I played it. A lot of people were asking me to do it.
Murder. You?
Hey, Alora gifted another sub to Temehe. Thank you so much for doing that. Temehe. Yeah, it was fun. I did enjoy it. Everybody wants me to jump down here. It's a sad. I can't do it. I can't. Look. Oh, jumped. Caught myself. Oh my god. But yeah, that was really fun. I enjoyed it. Thanks for recommending it to me. I think it was well worth the time, for sure. I had a good time. All right, guys. I am going to wrap it up. Let's take a look at who we can... Can we raid somebody? Are you guys in? Do you guys want to raid somebody? There was somebody that we raided a couple weeks back. And we just found somebody else in the Horizon Zero Dawn, like, game. They were also streaming it. And that same person is streaming, but I just wonder if, like... if we could find somebody else that, like, has a very few amount of viewers that would appreciate the surprise. You know, I think that would be cool. What do you guys think? You guys are in? Okay. I'm gonna find somebody, you might hear their voice here. I kind of want to just get a feel for what they're doing.
So don't count out the no-names out there.
This guy sounds nice, looks nice. Let's do this. I'm going to send you guys to a channel called Deep Voice. I'm going to set up the raid. Luckless was saying earlier that the raid didn't work, but we're going to try it. Looks like it's working on my screen. At the top of your screen, you're going to see this bar that's counting down. All you need to do is hit accept on the raid. And we're going to get transferred over to this other channel. He probably doesn't know who I am, but he's a smaller streamer playing Horizon. He has 10 viewers right now. And if we go in there and send him some love, tell him I sent you. And maybe give him a follow if you like his content or whatever. But I like doing this for, like, the guys that are streaming for 10 people, you know? I think it's good exposure because... I can only imagine if I didn't have a YouTube audience, I would have nobody watching me on Twitch. It's just hard to get any exposure. So if you guys can go in there and spam our emotes, maybe the Dexter Bulldog one is fun. Tell him I said hi, tell him we sent you, and have a good time. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye.